Okay, Suresh, probably we both of us are here. So, however, we will continue and let us see the people will join with us or not. I don't know, but I will continue my class for 40 minutes. However, so in the previous class we have seen so this trigger, that is select everything from TAB table. So these are the tables we have taken into consideration: the result table, exam table, and admission table. Okay, so select everything from admission. These are the rows. Select everything from exam. These are the examinations whichever I have taken. Select everything from result. So these are the rows which are there with result. And we have written one small trigger for result on result. That trigger is ED, so RESTRIZ. So this is the trigger. Yes, this is the trigger we have written there. So let me show you the same in Sublime. This one. So look at this. This particular trigger will be gives you what the error message which was displayed to us in the previous classes. I have given here. So user uname I have given instead of user uname has given. So that is the problem. It has not been taken into consideration here. So that is the only problem. And here we have created this particular trigger. As and when any insertions could be happen immediately, so message might be having this message table. Message might be having so this particular message. So-called user has did this particular operation. That operation name is insertion. If a deletion, updation will be happen, immediately updation will be notified. If a deletion will be happen, immediately deletion will be notified. Let us see. Let us create the trigger first, and then we will talk about these three issues here. So before going to take that one, so select everything from so message. Let us see. No rows are there here. No rows are there here. Now let me create the trigger. So RESTRIZ. Yes, your trigger has created without have any error messages. It has been created. Now let us see. Let us see. So here I'd like to update something here. So 506, where 506 will be taken 2-2. The year of study and the semester will be 2-2. He got only 132 marks. I wanted to so increase the marks right away from here to let me say 304. Otherwise we'll go for some 412, and average marks will be 68.5, something like that. So I'd like to update something here. Okay, so otherwise let me introduce one new row here. So insert into so the table name is result. Actually we are not supposed to insert, but for checking point of view we are inserting values. What are the values we are trying to insert here? So that is 501, and then 3, followed by first semester, followed by so 238 marks, and then 39%. I'm giving this particular data only because I don't know what exactly. So 39.67%, and then the grade will be so fail. Okay, let me introduce this one. Yes, one row has created. One row has created here. Now let us check whether the message will be so having some kind of data or not. So let us check this particular thing here. So look at this. So the username is Gopi has did. So on this particular 3/8/2020 at 3 o'clock, look at this particular time. So 3/8/2020, 3 o'clock, 7 minutes and 34 seconds, insert operation was happened on so-called. I haven't executed this particular query here. So I just write one particular trigger. I haven't execute anything for this thing here. So I have inserted one particular row. Immediately the trigger has fired and it has been come. Okay, immediately the trigger has fired and it has been come here. So let us check. Let us check about. One moment. People are joining. Okay, let us check. Select everything from result. So one more new row has been introduced here. Okay, let me update this particular row here. Update up update. So result set. So my value which is going to be set is a grade will be, actually the grade will be fail. Let me check it out as a grade is equal to, so let me say A grade, where, so okay, I'd like to take three conditions because 501 is available for thrice. So that let me take 501 with all these three cases, all these three. Okay, all these three here. So where the register number is equal to, let me copy all these things here. So where, so register number will be equal to 501, and year of study is equal to 3, and I'll show you one more thing. There is no problem at all. Semester equal to 1. Okay, look at this. One row was updated. How many number of rows have been updated here? Only single row. Let me check out one more time everything from, so message. Okay, look at this. One more thing has been operated here. Okay, one more thing has been gets operated here. Now let me operate delete from table name, that is result. How many rows will be gets deleted? How many rows are available here? 29 rows are available here. So I'd like to delete everything here. So delete everything. 29 rows have been deleted. So your trigger will be gets fired for 29 times. Your trigger will be gets fired for 29 times, and our message will be having those many number of rows. Look at this. Look at this. So first to delete, it was happened, second delete, third delete, fourth delete, fifth delete, and so on and so forth. So 29 times it has been operated, because how many number of rows are deleted here? 29. And what we wrote here, so that row we wrote for each row, we have written this trigger for each row, as and when. So the operation will be happen for each row, on each row. So we would like to fire this particular trigger. So how many times it has been deleted? 29 times have been operated on the table. So 29 times the delete operation has been recorded in our message, here. So this is what the trigger is this one. Now I hope that you got the specifications of the trigger here. Now let us check about. So we have written one particular another thing here. We have written some cursor. We have written some particular cursor to calculate the specifications here. Let me write in terms of a trigger. In terms of trigger, already we have seen how the cursor will be executed. Cursor must be executed at the rate your program name. At the rate my cursor name is exam.cur.sql. So that I have to execute. So at the rate, so exam.cur.sql must be always been executed. If you execute, it could be automatically execute this particular code and can be done something for you. But I don't want to execute this particular thing. I have to create one particular trigger on behalf of my exam. So to find the result and how this could be happen. Let us have a look here. So as and when the scenario is, what is my scenario which we have to evaluate here? We have admission table, we have exam table, we have result table. So these are the three different types of tables which are available with me. So as and when I have to enter any data into exam, any new row will be entered into exam, then immediately result table must be reflected. So result in the sense, this based on this particular, these are the conditions which you have to identify for result here. All these things are supposed to be, gets identified whenever you have to enter any row in exam. if you enter any row in exam, so immediately result table will be affected. So a result table will be identify its own result and all, and so on and so forth. So further, we would like to write one new trigger here. So as usual, create or replace here, replace trigger. Trigger name is exam underscore trigger. Exam underscore trigger. This is my trigger name. Okay. So what we are supposed to doing here? So if you are supposed to insert a new row into this one, so already I have given some information that the previous time I have given already some information that, so the bind variable new will be available after insertion only. Old cannot be there. So before inserting a row, same row could not be available before insertion. So the old value cannot be available here. So we are trying to perform the operation in terms of after insertion. So after insert on, my table name is exam. So for each row, how you are supposed to operate here for each row. So look at this. So where is my trigger here? So this trigger after insert or update or something like that we have written, we have taken only insertion here. We have taken only insertion here. Only insertion is required for us. So therefore, we would like to consider, so after insert on exam for each row. Okay. So then any declarations are required? Yes, we do need some kind of declarations. Declare, D-E-C-L-A-R-E, declare. So what are the declarations you are required here in the sense? We may be required. So let me describe a result. Okay, na? This register number is already available with the exam. Year of study is already available with the exam. Semester is already available with exam. But the total marks, average marks, and grade, these three are not available. So since these three are not available, so we have to declare them. So declare. So TOT. So it has been taken. So result dot total marks. Result dot total marks. Total marks percentile type. Similarly, so average TAVZ. So result dot average marks, result dot average marks percentile type. Then followed by last and final thing is grade. Okay. So T grade is so result dot grade percentile type. Whatever the type you have declared over there, the same thing will be taken into consideration. Yes. So these are enough for me. So you may be asking me on question here, how could you get all those issues, sir? We are not using any selection here. We are not using any selection. As and when insert operation will be happen, trigger will be automatically capture the all values of exam table. Okay, one mistake is there, EXAM. On exam table, if you insert anything, all values will be captured by exam. So trigger here. Automatically it has been captured. Okay. Then begin. Yes, I have begun the process here. So the process is already declared here. Everything has been done here. So let me take, we need to identify the total and everything here. The total and everything has been identified here. So we have already written this one here. So let me copy everything here. Okay. So what we are supposed to do here in a sense, so we are trying to perform T total will be equal to, previously it is a cursor, so that we have included this particular statement here. So now what exactly we are trying to do here is, so colon a newly introduced subject 1 plus newly introduced subject 2 SUB2 plus newly introduced subject 3 plus newly introduced subject 4 plus colon new dot subject 5 plus colon new dot subject 6. All subjects will be calculated. So that is why we have used bind variable colon u. Colon u in the sense just to know which row was introduced into exam, that particular pool of data will be calculated. And similarly, so total T average will be equal to, yes, we have been calculated here. So that could be the specification where exactly we have to consider here, and everything will be same. There is no difference at all. But only one thing is left over here. That is colon new dot. Colon new dot subject is less than 40. Then colon new dot subject 2 will be less than 40. Colon new dot subject 3 is less than 40, or colon new dot subject 4 is less than 40, and so on and so forth. How many number of subjects are there? So each subject will be calculated something like this. If it is less than 40, then T grade will be whatever the grade you have given, so same, fail, and everything will be same here. And I have identified the values also. I have inserted those values also. Insert into result. So here colon new dot register number. So colon new dot year of study, colon new dot semester. As of now, there is no problem. T total, the variable which I have declared is T total, T average, T grade, T total, T average, and T grade. Okay. Then end. So here you please remember that in trigger, commit statement could not be executed. Commit statement cannot be given here. Explicitly, you have to operate the commit statement. So in cursor, what we have applied, same thing is applied, but cursor must be explicitly run by the user, whereas trigger cannot. Trigger is automatically fired. Once you have created, it is automatically fired. What exactly the point will be? After inserting a row in exam, so then this whole thing will be fired. This whole thing will be calculated and fired. Let me save this one for a while. So this is RES, okay. EXAM, exam trigger, EXAM TRIC, exam trigger .SQL. My file name is .SQL. Okay. So everything has been calculated. Let us examine whether this could be gets created or not. Okay. Let us move to SQL here. At the rate EXAM TRIC. Yes, compilation errors. Show errors. What are the PLSQL statement is 7th one total. Oh, sorry. Somewhere else TOT has there. Somewhere else TOT has there. Where it is? 7th line. Declare T total percentile type. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. T total. T total. So here total has taken here. T total must be there. Yes, save it is, and execute one more time. Yes, trigger has created without any error. Trigger has created. Without any error, trigger has created. Now, select everything from what you call admission. This is the data. Select everything from exam. This is the data actually. I would like to remove everything. Let me enter the values freshly. I would like to remove everything. Okay. Select everything from, so what is that result? Okay, result, nothing is there. Let me delete everything from exam. Let me delete everything. So we haven't noted down anywhere else. Okay. What is the deletion? We haven't noted down anything here. Now let me go ahead and check out everything here one more time. So because for our confirmation, let me check it out for one more time. Admissions, and then examination, nothing is there, and then result, nothing is there. Only admissions data will be there. Okay. Describe exam. What are the fields which are available with exam? Let us take this one. Okay. Insert into the exam values. Let me introduce all values. Register number is already we have one particular person. Why not one? So ampersand RUZDNO, year of study, ampersand year study, ampersand semester, comma ampersand sub1. Okay, let me copy this one, comma ampersand sub2, comma ampersand sub3, comma ampersand sub4, comma ampersand sub5, comma ampersand sub6. Okay, so let me introduce this one, 501. The person name is 501. Area of study is second year, first semester, subject 1 marks. So look at this. One row was created successfully. One row was created successfully. Now let us check. Let us check the exam table. Let us check. Okay. Let us check. Select everything from exam. Yes, data has introduced. One row was introduced here. What is our intention? This row will be calculated and will be reflected in the exam. Sorry, the result. So select everything from result. Look at that. Look at that. So as and when insert operation will be gets happened in exam table, because you have written a particular trigger for exam table, stated that if a new row will be taken into consideration by this particular exam table, so we did some kind of operations. What are those operations? In the sense the total has been identified and the average will be identified, and we have identified the grade. So different conditions have been took place here. All these grade will be gets operated, and then we have inserted the data into the result after completion of this calculation. Okay, this is the work we have done. This is the process we have done. Okay, so I have inserted one particular row. That's all. I have inserted one particular row. Nothing has to do. I did not calculate anything. I just create a trigger here. Okay, let me introduce one more time. Let me introduce this particular query for one more time. So whether this could be reflected for one more time or not. Let us do here. So 502, number 502, and second year, first semester. So marks will be, yeah, these are the marks inserted. Okay. Now let me check it out whether data will be inserted properly or not. Yes, it is inserted properly. Let us check whether it is reflected in the result table properly or not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In this way, so a trigger could be written by you. Trigger will be automatically fired. Trigger will be automatically fired on DML operations. I have written only for insertion. I have written only for insertion. I did not written for any other operations. I have written only for insertion. So when insertion will be happen on examination table, then immediately this total thing will be executed. Automatically it could be fired, the trigger will be fired, and everything will be gets executed, and resultant values will be placed into the table where exactly you have chosen. That could be so taken into consideration. In this way, the trigger is being executed here. So this is the way of execution of the trigger. Okay, this is the way of execution of the trigger. In trigger, normally as and when, so if you consider your cursor, let me open the cursor also here. Let me open this. This is the cursor. What you did there, you have to fetch the data from the cursor. You have to create the data, create the cursor by taking a subquery select star from exam, something like that. You have to create a cursor here, so that whatever the data which is available in exam, everything will be copied to private work area. From that one, you have to copy each and every row to actual your cursor or your program. Then you have to calculate all these points and then insert the data into result. So here, so implicitly or explicitly, you have been selected the data from exam. Exam must be have some kind of data. Otherwise, it could not be, cursor could not be evaluated. If examination table might be having 0 number of rows, even then, how many number of times you may be execute the cursor, it doesn't matter. You are not supposed to calculate anything. But in trigger, as far as the trigger is being concerned, you are not fetching any data from the table. You are not trying to fetch any data from the table. What you are trying to do here is, as and when insert operation, otherwise any DML operation, insertion, deletion, updation, these three operations will be happen on any table, trigger will be captured the data capture the data and it could be evaluated what you wrote over there. Evaluated what you wrote over there. So that is the specialty of the trigger here. Okay, that is the specialty. So any new data will be there. On that new data, yes, it has been operated. It has been operated. Okay, this new data will be taking after class only. If you are create your trigger on after, then new data will be taken into consideration and everything will be gets operated here. This is the way you have to write a particular trigger, because I am supposed to give you as many number of assignments to you people. You are expected to solve those assignments based on your deadlines. So okay, inform to everybody and ask them to watch this particular video very clearly, because I am going to stop the video at this moment, because I don't want to continue this class for further, because it must be concise only. You must go through this one for a while. All of you go through this one for a while, and you have to write at your own trigger by on creation of your own tables. Not exactly the admission system, any other system. You could consider any other system, and based on your intention, you have to create a new tables and a new set of tables and new set of values and write a trigger on one particular table. Resultant values will be placed to some other way. So okay, so that must be done here. Then you will be get somewhat familiar before going to give any new assignment to you people. Okay. So today's class is only for 30 minutes. Even then, you please go through this particular video for a while. This is very important for you. Okay. And also tell them, so